Good afternoon, guys. Happy Saturday. Hope you guys are good. Today, I want to talk to purchasers or buyers, especially those who are purchasing for the first time. We call them first time home purchases. Those are purchasing for the first time, right? So remember that these people are usually, not all, usually people who don't know where to start or how the process goes. Again, it's not all. Right. So as a first time home buyer, where do you start? You have two people. You have a property consultant and you have a property practitioner, which is also known as real estate agent. So currently with the new regulation, which is PPRA, we call them property practitioners. With the previous one, which was EAAB, we called them estate agents, but we're not there. So, as a first time home buyer, where do you start? You start by contacting a property consultant. The property consultant, this is the person that is going to hold your hand throughout the process. And this is the person that is going to help you understand the market. Number one, it's going to help you understand your need, it's going to help you understand your affordability, etc. So, what does a property consultant do? Why is a property consultant different from the property practitioner or estate agent? The property consultant sits you down and analyze your needs. They ask you questions like, why do you need to buy this property? Or rather, why do you need, what is the need for you to buy the property? It could be you want to stay in there. It could be you want it for investment. You could be you want it for property flipping, for whatever reason. So remember that different areas, different properties cater for different needs, right? So for example, property investment doesn't work with any property, just any property. It works with different properties. Similar to property flipping doesn't work on any area now. We talk of areas. It doesn't work on any area. It works on certain areas. So you may flip a property and then not get the profit that you were looking for, rather you were intending to get because of the area, and then you couldn't be able to market it quite higher than it was marketed when you bought it. So that's why the property consultant is there. So hold your hand to make you understand, to say that, okay, this house for your needs is not going to be a good buy, and then this one is going to be a good buy. And then they help you understand the affordability as well. So just because that the bank says that you qualify for R1 million doesn't necessarily mean that you can afford R1 million. Remember that when you're buying a property, you have to think of, again, levies, insurance, rates and taxes, and your normal expenses. So again, just because you qualify for an X amount doesn't necessarily mean that you afford that amount. And there are also costs in buying a property. Bond costs, transfer costs, and transfer duties where it's necessary. Properties less than R1 million, they don't have transfer duties. Anything million and above, they have transfer duties. So most first-time home buyers, they do not know these things. Hence, you need a property consultant. And the property consultant will also analyze the property that, let's say that you've spotted a house, for example. You've contacted the agent. Maybe you want to go for viewing and whatnot, and you right. So the property consultant, what they're going to do, they're going to analyze that house with you, and to say that this house is marketed for this amount, but then you can make this offer for this amount because of this and that. They pull things like your Lightstone report or any property report that they have, whatever system. I know that they usually use either Lightstone report, visual agency, which other ones they use, I don't know. And then they also pull out the recent sales in the area. The property consultant that you pick must understand the area where you are buying, because when they do those analyses, and when it comes to negotiating the price or whatever. They use the analysis in the area, so they need to know the area where you are buying. And usually property consultants are very equipped, are very knowledgeable, so they usually know these things. And you need to have someone, or rather your property consultant need to have right systems in place. For example, you cannot have a property consultant that is not going to be able to pull a Lightstone report for you. Hence, you need somebody with right resources. All right. And then they help you to understand sorry about that. I'm saying that they help you to understand also the defects, the footstart clause, everything about the property. And the people that are buying properties from different countries, different towns, different everything, do you really trust a visual viewing? I wouldn't say trust a virtual viewing. Remember, a virtual viewing, we just show you the house, and then we're not going to go into depth to show you the defects. For example, the defects, the area, the outside. They don't show you outside. They will only going to show you the house. You want to view the house. That's what they can show you. So if you have the property consultant can go to these viewings on your behalf and identify things that needs to be identified on your behalf. And again, the property consultant, if they're not going on to the viewing with you, they will help you to ask questions to the agent. There's certain questions that you may need to ask an agent. Let's say that it's your first time ever buying a property and you don't know what questions to ask the agent. You don't know what you're there to look for when you go for viewing. You're just going to look for the size of the house, or maybe you're just going to look for the kitchen. No, it doesn't end there. It's a lot that you need to look for when you're going to view a property. Hence, you need a property consultant, especially if you are doing it for the first time ever. And the property consultant will be able to advise. Let's say that later there's a defect that was, let's say a latent defect that is in the property, and then you don't know whether the seller should be held accountable or not, or the footstool clause will apply. Footstool clause is to protect the seller, we understand, but it doesn't apply at all times. There's times where a footstool clause cannot protect the seller. Again, that's the reason why you need a property consultant. Have a good Saturday, guys.